Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan. And we are watching the 2022 reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
So that was a Netflix original that came out in February 2022. And we, at time of recording, it's about a month it's been out now. Or sorry, a month of release. It's been... Yeah.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean, but our listeners don't know what I mean because I'm rambling like a fucking idiot as usual. So, I don't know much about this movie. I haven't even seen a trailer for this movie. I've seen some pictures online and they look beautiful. So I'm expecting this movie to look stunning.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting much from the plot.
Yeah, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, as you know, I'm a big horror fan.
So am I. Stop leaving that
but
out.
I'm like a classic horror
so
film, like
am I.
slasher film.
Okay, that's fair.
That's more like,
That's fair.
So, they haven't ever been, like, quality, I would say. They're not like a Halloween or a Nightmare on Elm Street. Leatherface is iconic, though. I think that's kind of where the appeal is, where, like, we have another guy that wants to slash and kill people, and he wears their skin, so that's extra creepy. So there's already been one reboot of this franchise, and then they went back to the original in like 2013.
Sorry.
They went back to the original in 2013 for Texas Chainsaw, and then I think that was the last one. And then now they made this one. And I'm not sure if it's connected to the original or not, but we'll see.
I'd highly doubt it. I think it takes place in modern times. So, we'll see. I don't know much about this movie. I've seen some of the reviews, and they're not looking too good.
Yeah.
They're not looking too good.
Yeah, I guess this is January and February are always the dump months for movies.
Not necessarily on Netflix, though. Not on streaming. But on actual movies, yeah, it's the dump months.
Yeah. So. Well, I have a feeling that, we know this, so we're going into this not hearing good things. From what I understand, this movie's about like a bunch of, this is the real plot, a bunch of internet influencers go to this old town in Texas to revive it, like gentrification basically.
Oh no.
And, obviously Leatherface is there. They probably terrorize him.
I thought you said Letterface. I'm like, what is a Letterface?
Letterface is a font.
Letterkenny is an awesome show on Hulu you should watch.
No, I'm going to watch it.
You're 10-ply, bud. Or you're 2-ply, bud.
I'm 2-ply?
You're 2-ply.
I have no idea what you're rambling on about.
Yeah, good. You should watch the show. Anyway, let's just get to the movie. Enough of us rambling like idiots. Let's get to this review. Okay, so we're back. So this movie is kind of a mixed bag. I think I'd have to say. I just hit my chin to the mic. Okay, I don't know why I'm sitting so close. Anyway, so the first note I have is about they're just driving a fucking Tesla through middle of nowhere, Texas.
Well, yeah, the movie really sets up kind of like these are they're influencers.
Very
That's
modern times.
That's what they say. These are like city folk going to the heart of Texas
to get away from the big city life.
Yeah,
in a way.
They said something about violence and
well, one of the girls was involved in a school shooting.
Which we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
That was just like out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
A lot of this movie was out of nowhere. Let's just start with that.
Yeah. Fede Alvarez wrote the story behind this, which is surprising because not right off the bat, I'm gonna say I don't absolutely hate this movie, but I don't love it. I think it's, I don't know, but Fede Alvarez is known for better stuff than this. He did the Evil Dead remake, like you can see it. I have it on my shelf right there.
I told you all this.
Yeah. Well, no, I just knew that. Okay. I want to talk. And then he also did Don't Breathe, which I think is like a modern horror classic, and they ruined it by making a sequel.
I haven't seen the sequel. I've seen the first one, and the first one was very good. I agree. It's definitely a new type of genre, a new way of looking at horror, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
This film, Texas Chainsaw, and again, I saw reviews for it. It did look stunning. Like it was very like A24-esque cinematography.
I was expecting it to be like produced by A24.
No,
which they probably should have done that because I think this movie would have been way better for it.
Yeah, like most of the modern horror movies have been kind of A24, but not really the remakes. The remakes haven't been A24 though. I don't think. Like Friday the 13th, that one.
No, Friday the 13th.
Well, that's in a continuation. Friday the 13th, Halloween even. That one's not A24 either.
No, that's Universal, I think.
Yeah, so like again, I guess I don't know who the rights were for Texas Chainsaw. Like, did they?
They've been all over the place, and I actually lied. So I said that Texas Chainsaw in 2013 was the last one that they made. I guess technically of like the Texas Chainsaw movies, but they also did like a prequel called Leatherface, which wasn't.
Yes, I did. Yes,
it wasn't bad, but like they gave like an origin story for Leatherface, and like so like the lore of the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like all the movies is very, very different every time. Like I think the first time it's like it's a family of all guys, and like one of them's kind of fucked up, or they're all fucked up, but like it's more or less like Leatherface and his brother, who are like the fucked up people and that.
Yeah.
And then they also keep in the at their like farmhouse, which we saw at the end of this movie and the end stinger. They have like the grandparents that they're barely alive, like they're still living, but like they're like basically corpses up in the. It's a really like the whole original is very fucking weird and like very gruesome for the time.
Yeah.
And then that spawned a sequel where they go to the city or something. It's kind of like Jason Takes Manhattan, but like not really.
Oh god, let's not talk about that again.
That was awful. But my real Texas Chainsaw Massacre knowledge comes from the 2003 remake and then the 2006 prequel to that one, which that one where like it's like they live in this kind of rundown town, obviously, but like the sheriff is in on it. The sheriff is like the father of Leatherface or something like that.
Okay.
And it's played by Arlie Ermey. He's the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
So he's like, a real bastard, basically. And it's got Jessica Biel.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
Well, she was big at the time. It was produced by Michael Bay.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, it's actually pretty good. I think it kind of consolidated everything that was good about the original, and then kind of made it like into like its own story where there's like this whole town is filled with these hillbillies, hicks that are just they kind of like incest. It's heavily implied that they're all incest babies, and they're just really fucked up. And then they just go on a murder rampage, and then. But the cool thing is that the sheriff's like in on it. So he's like the real villain of it. And then Leatherface is like the heavyweight man to like carry out all his bidding, right? And then we get to this movie where none of that, basically no lore or no like.
Well, I think they're trying to go back to the 1973 movie. I think they're trying to base it off of that, kind of like the Halloween movie in 2017, 18. The remake.
2018.
So like that one's kind of a continuation from the very first one. I think that's what they're trying to do with this one.
Yeah, it was very much. I definitely got like Legacy sequel vibes from it, where like because they brought obviously, or spoiler alert, they brought back Sally Hardesty.
Yes, the character, not the original actress because she died in 2014.
Yeah,
but they brought back basically the character. So that was cool to see, like kind of like a Jamie Lee vibe to it.
Yeah, but it's like this movie's compared to like the remake of Halloween or the continuation of Halloween. This one falls very short because they don't give any characterization at all, like let alone to the main characters of the movie, but not even to the legacy sequel character. Like,
I think they give some good characterization to the main two girls who are the main characters of the movie. Like they have the backstory at least. They don't have like
I couldn't tell you one thing about Mel. Yeah, you didn't remember her name though.
I didn't remember. I didn't remember her name, but Lila I remembered because she's kind of the main character of the whole thing. So
I guess it's more like
she did in the second half. Of the
I feel like this movie has a main character problem. Like they can't tell. They don't know who it is. First it's Mel, then it's
Dante.
Then it's Dante, then it's then it's Lila. So and then for some reason it's Sally for a quick second.
Yeah. I mean, it just you couldn't tell who it was. Whatever. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, and well, I noticed there's a lot of like kind of tropes and callbacks. Like
Lots of tropes.
first one I counted was the creepy convenience store guy.
Yeah, like I think I said like, oh, is that Leatherface? I'm like, oh wait, no, he's about the right size, but like he's a little too smart to be Leatherface.
Yeah, no, that Leatherface has always been like
Big dumb.
Yeah,
Big dumb.
he's probably like he's like Jason if he wasn't like tactical. You know what I mean?
It's like I definitely got some Jason vibes from
Like sloppy
something.
Jason.
I think I wrote it down somewhere about Jason. Oh yeah, so this is a little ways in. So I'm not gonna get there just yet, but they get to the town, and what exactly is the plan here? They're kind of like they got permission to like take this town and make it their own. Is that kind of what it was supposed to be, or to remake it as influencers?
From what I understood, is it's the nice they're doing the nice version of gentrification. Okay. So everyone's complains about in the cities where they redo they're doing that to a rundown town in Texas. And so I guess they had some money that they just bought the whole town or something. And then they were going to try to spruce it up by bringing influencers to make this like a new hot spot for modern day social media people, or I don't know.
Just like a place to hang out. Like say if influencers went to that ghost town in like Nevada or something like that old rundown town you always like hear about or something.
Yeah. I think that's and if this is kind of a cool idea that they would do that. Like they're just kind of making what's old new again. But then there's the argument for that's a very political issue. I won't get into it.
Yeah,
but speaking of politics, this movie, it doesn't really take a side.
No,
I notice, but I'm just annoyed that any of it is in there.
Yeah, you're annoyed when anything political is involved in movies whatsoever. But that's just the day and age, man. Like you got to get used to it. It's gonna be in movies.
Okay, but like, I don't know. The thing that really gets me is the school shooting thing.
Yeah,
because it's like that's such a big plot point.
So yes,
to do for that's so unnatural for just a backstory.
Yeah, so Lila was involved in a school shooting, from what we're aware of. So, and she just got PTSD from it, basically.
Right, and she has to overcome that by the end of the movie. So it's a nice kind of setup for her arc, I guess. But like that just seems like such an unusual way to start that out.
It's a very modern issue, but it's a very weird kind of issue to kind of make her as her backstory.
Yeah, it's such an extraordinary thing.
Circumstance.
Yeah, so it's like it's even more unbelievable when she's thrown into this other extraordinary circumstance in the whole movie. So it's like first you survive a school shooting, then you survive a serial killer attack.
Well, spoiler alert.
Right, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought it was very out of place for this movie. You know what I mean? Because like the whole maybe if they want to not do the trope, but the trope is that these are all regular, usually just a regular woman that just finds herself going up against a big villain, right? And usually it's all about her like overcoming past trauma, sometimes related to like other men and stuff. So her arc is to get over the fear, one, of the gun, which she ends up confronting. Kind of doesn't really, they don't.
You get so ahead of yourself.
What?
You get so ahead of yourself.
I know. But it's.
I get what you're saying. So lots of modern movies have the political tropes and stuff like that. But the good thing about this movie is the takeaway is it shows both sides pretty evenly, I would say.
Yeah, well they have like the gas guzzling conservative that lives in Texas. I'm Texas. I don't like people telling me what to do.
Vroom vroom.
Yeah, so he's like he's an asshole, but then you also have like the dumbasses on the bus where like for like the left side where they're like they're holding up their phones like try anything you get canceled, bro.
Yeah,
and then they fucking massacre everyone.
Yeah, that's the big scene of the movie. We'll get to that. We will react to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Let's get to the first kill. So the first big kill, which was
just came out of nowhere for me,
dude. Like, so the owner of one of the orphanages, she has a heart attack basically, and is in a police van
they're like a
on the
police
way
transport, right?
on the way to the hospital, along with one of the people who is buying the town, basically.
For some reason, she decides to join in.
And 2 officers. So this bitch dies of a heart attack. And the guy that's holding her is the guy that lived with her in the orphanage. And he basically just starts freaking out, getting the oxygen. It's like, oh, live, whatever.
Yeah, because, it's his mom, basically.
And then he looks at the officer menacingly when he tries to stop him. He's like, hey, it's not worth it. And then he just fucking... bangs his wrist back.
Yeah, he rips off his wrist and then exposes like a sharp bone and then stabs him with it.
On the fucking neck. I was like, oh! I think my exact reaction was, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, so we're starting now. Okay, cool.
Oh, shit. And then he stabs the driver too, and they end up crashing into a tractor or something in the middle of a sunflower field.
Yeah, that's where the kind of brings me to the cinematography, because the cinematography, pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, one of the big shots from the trailer was the big skin mask that he holds up to the sky.
Yeah, you
or
see it through the sun.
That is his mother's face. That is your mother, sir. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a really weird way to honor her.
That's some Jason vibes right there. I got from that. I was like, oh, what the? And then he ends up seppukuing the girl in the passenger seat who was part of the gang that came into the town. I was like, oh my god! Each hit just hit with such force. It was really well done, and I loved that about this movie. And then I also said, imagine if "Sunflower" by Post Malone was a metal song, because that's what I was thinking. Because there's all these dead sunflowers around. It's like,
that'd be fucking hilarious, though.
That would have been great.
I can just and then Miles Morales just kind of thwips around. Yeah, he's just like, oh hey everybody.
Oh my god.
That'd be fucking stupid.
Oh
dude.
Jesus.
But yeah, so she gets seppuku'd, and is that how you say it, seppuku?
So I say seppuku. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Yeah, and then so. Also, this is a funny thing. She doesn't. I don't think they actually say her name in the movie. Her character name is known as Ruth. I read on IMDb, but literally in the subtitles it says Dante's fiance gasps. So they don't even bother giving her a name.
Yeah, no, she's not in the movie long enough.
Yeah,
she looks like a younger Gwyneth Paltrow. That's what I got.
That's her best. That's the only thing that that she has. But it's stupid. I think it's stupid that she even went in the car. Why is she going?
Yeah, it's I'll go with her, make sure she gets there safe. Why? You barely know this
There's
bitch.
2 police officers that's their job to do that. They would.
But that's also a thing with our generation. I think if we were in the same exact situation, somebody like us would go with them. It's just make sure they're okay or something. I feel like something like that actually could happen.
Maybe you guys, you would. I wouldn't do it.
I know you wouldn't, but you're a different character. Different people in this generation would actually do that. I could totally see that happen.
Wow, people are so naive,
dude. I know. This.
I don't know. I've seen horror movies. I know this shit's gonna happen.
Dude, millennials and Gen Z, they do that. They totally do.
Oh man. But yeah, dude peels off his mom's face. And this is where we get our first glimpse into what Sally's doing. So this is when we figure out, oh, this is a Legacy sequel. They're trying to bring back Sally. Is that her name?
I think it's Sally. Yeah.
The original Texas Chainsaw left barely any impact on me. So it's ironic because I'm a huge fan of horror movies, especially slashers, and I can recognize Leatherface as a huge icon.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of his movies other than the first one and then the remake and then the
first
prequel.
one, so yeah.
Yeah, but so Sally comes back and she's kind of haunted by, she kind of gets like a low key Laurie Strode kind of thing going on where she's just haunted.
A Jamie Lee thing. I was like, oh my god, this is so.
Yeah, it very much takes takes a lot from the original or from the 2018 Halloween. I think, at least with Sally's character, however little there is.
Yeah, the Legacy sequel type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I wrote a note wish I literally knew anything about these characters other than Lila, and that was just because she was in the school shooting. I don't know anything about Mel. I know that Dante is a chef. Technically,
yes.
They mentioned that in one line.
Yes.
And he's marrying soon to be married Ruth. I I literally know nothing about Mel, the second main character. So like that's that. It's very. It's not. It's poorly written, I'd say.
I wouldn't say that.
Like, do you mean like story or screenplay? Because I mean screenplay.
Okay.
Because like the inner workings of like what happens, like in who says what, and there's no
dialogue is not the greatest.
Yeah, I'd say the story of the premise is good.
Ideas are pretty good in this movie.
Yeah,
the ideas and the big overall messages, like in some of the commentaries they did, are pretty good, but not necessarily the dialogue and the way it's executed.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, there was Dante when he gets fucking stabbed in like the neck area, like by Leatherface, and he is like bleeding out all over the floor. Like we cut away from him for a little bit, and
yeah, I thought he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
There's no way he got up, walked outside in the rain, and I guess it's a way to advance the story so that the guy, pickup truck dude, whatever his name is, Richter, yeah, he ends up like a spoiler alert, he's in that town.
Yeah,
and
he's like the only other resident in the town.
He's like, "Hey, dude, you okay?" And then he's like, "Oh, fuck." So. And that's one way to advance it. And he went in to see what's going on, maybe rescue Mel.
Which he doesn't.
He doesn't. And
he gives her the keys. That's what the whole thing was.
Before that, he gets his fucking shit rocked.
Yeah, he gets his bottom of his leg.
Dude, his knee gets snapped backwards.
Yeah, it's ripped in half.
Oh my! And he still somehow is like, I got you. He pins Leatherface up against the wall and then gets fucking stabbed. Like,
yeah, he's stabbed by the window. And then
he's on the floor.
Like literally, like I wasn't. So this is what I wasn't expecting Richter to die. Like, I mean, I guess that's fine. Whatever. People die in horror movies.
Yeah.
But like they were setting him up to kind of be the secondary hero.
Yeah.
And like I would have liked it, because he's showing Lila how to use the gun and everything. And like I would have liked him kind of be like a mentor to like.
Sometimes mentors die.
Well, yeah, but not like at the midpoint,
Yeah, he definitely died at the midpoint. He gets his, oh my god, he got his brain smashed.
Yeah, like I wrote Richter come to the rescue, my first note, and then Jesus, Richter got fucked up.
Oh my god, like he just kept going, kept going at him, like he's dead.
His face is not there.
His head is not there.
Yeah,
like he got decapitated in the most unorthodox way.
Yeah. Like Jesus. Yeah, yeah. And then Leatherface yeets an axe at Mel.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
So like Mel's on the stairs, I thought she got impaled by that axe. And little did we know, she's just like got knocked down by it. It didn't like go in her at all. It's just she just got knocked down by it, like a bruise or something. Like how the fuck does that happen?
I don't know, man.
Like he chucked that at her with force to knock her through the floorboards. What?
Yeah, I don't know. And then that leads to the kind of like her kind of crawling under the house and then pausing for a second and then for him to walk over and then her running again. So that
she did get saved by the pipe bursting. Like he thought he hit her with a pipe, and then she got shit on. Literally,
I'm kind of proud of my note. I said, "Oh shit," literally.
Oh my god, that leads to the next big scene.
Yeah, at least to the bus scene, the scene of the movie,
the scene. Like, try anything, bro. You're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, and I love they're basically live streaming all of their deaths. Which I thought was nice because we don't ever see like I don't remember seeing like a big massacre scene like this.
Well, I mean, there's the New Zealand shooter who kind of Facebook Lived his thing a while ago.
Oh, so they're using like real life examples?
Examples like of something this could happen. Like you wouldn't know it's real. Like, oh shit, that's fake. Whatever. Like that's a good social commentary on that.
Yeah,
and
I do know there's one like this one guy his wife was live streaming or something, and then the cop shot him, and then she's like live streaming him dying, and I'm like, Facebook, take it down. That's gross. And we don't want it. That's
this shit happens. It gets taken down, but like it happens like sometimes.
Yeah. but like he says, just try anything, you're canceled, bro. And like, Leatherface will take you up on that offer, buddy.
Yeah, and it was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
If I had anything else to say, there's nothing else to say. It's a fucking bloodbath. Like, a bitch got sawed in half trying to escape out of the window. Like, dude's arms. I remember Leatherface throw a leg somewhere.
Yeah, he throws it away.
It's like, what is going on?
This one guy gets like sawed from collarbone to navel.
Oh my god, that was the first one. I was like,
yeah, he's like, and then Lila like looks him in the eye as he dies.
Yeah,
like,
Lila was having like flashbacks to the school shooting type of thing.
And I saw there was a quick shot on the phone where it says, "That looks fake." I'm like,
yeah, it's like,
that's nice commentary because it's like that's probably what some troll on the internet would say.
Man. Yeah, see, very well done social commentary. I will say that
it did. Yeah, it didn't piss me off.
Movie. It's the scene in the movie. Yeah, for sure.
And like at least we like, it's very gratuitous gratuitous,
words.
And we don't. I don't think I've never seen like. I really don't think I've ever seen like a straight up massacre of a horror. Like, think of a horror movie villain just having a bloodbath with a bunch of red shirts. I don't remember seeing that. And if I'm wrong, correct me, somebody. The only other thing I can think of is like Cabin in the Woods, like at the end where all the creatures attack everyone at the end. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. But I've never seen like one of my horror movie villains do that.
Even though this is called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they never put the massacre.
Yeah, they're living up to the name. I give it
for
that.
sure in this one.
Yeah.
Again, I've only seen the original first one, so I don't. It wasn't really a massacre. It was like 6 kids or something like that.
Yeah, it's always like a tight knit group of kids. And
that's typical horror movie tropes. So.
Yeah, and especially in a modern horror movie, because modern horror movies are just ghosts and shit, and nobody dies ever.
Demons,
I don't think anybody's died in a Conjuring movie, other than the villain. Like, I can't think of anyone who died. They're just haunted.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. Good point. Well,
so it was nice, and that's what I like about the slasher genre. It's like people die, And I mean,
my favorite one is Jason because he has the most kills, and he's fucking brutal.
And he does. There's a few of them he does tastefully. My favorite one is the sleeping bag one, but not in part 7, like everyone says, where like it's like one hit and she's dead. I like the one in Jason X where it's 2 girls, and he's hitting one girl in the sleeping bag with hitting her in the sleeping bag to the other girl that's also in the sleeping bag on the floor. Yeah. That's funny.
Yes. And okay, so while we're on this thought, let's get this out of the way right now. I'm going to take a little sidebar right here for the Texas Chainsaw game that's coming out. And, yeah, and so it's the same creators that did the Friday the 13th game that came out, like 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. Now the servers are down and it's just done. The game's over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the servers got taken down like last year.
I mean, I know it's an independent.
It's an indie, yeah.
Yeah, so
I think this Texas Chainsaw one is a little more higher budget because it's going to be like the same type of deal, but it's just Texas Chainsaw instead of Friday the 13th. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. If it's going to be more Dead by Daylight or if it's going to be more like Friday the 13th, I guess. So I
don't know. I mean, I haven't played the Friday the 13th, the game, but I have played Dead by Daylight, and the concept of it is pretty cool, but it's more or less generic, hide from the monster, try to escape. And Texas Chainsaw is more about fighting Leatherface.
Yeah, the cool thing with Friday the 13th is you had tasks. Like, each member of the group had tasks to try to escape in the car to get away from Camp Crystal Lake or whatever. Like, one has to find gas. One has to, do other stuff. There's other stuff that you have to do. Yeah. Like, if you want to escape by boat, if you want to escape by car, it's up to you. But there is ways you can escape. And it's really cool. So hopefully they expand upon that a little more, or maybe... I don't know. It's just going to be cool to see, and I hope it. I mean,
they have to include. I mean, well, Dead by Daylight already included it.
Yes.
With the hooks, but this franchise is what made that famous, where they hung people on hooks.
Yes.
So if they have to include that in like a butcher shop or something like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, kind of just highlighting the difference between this might be the perfect thing. The difference between this movie and like the other Texas Chainsaw movies, which I think are a little better executed. The there's the scene where there's this one guy, this blonde-haired guy, he gets his leg chopped off when he's running through the field, and he gets dragged into the house. And there's attention to detail where he's like running his fingernails against the wall. You remember seeing that, right?
Yeah.
And his fingernails come off.
Yeah.
And they hang him on the hook, and it's a brutal kind of like slow death that like I just don't think that we got very desensitized to the killing in this movie very quickly. I think like right off
they hit hard though, dude.
Yeah, they hit hard, but like there's no like depth to the kills. There's no humanity. You know what I mean?
It's not supposed to be humanity. It's a fucking slasher,
bro. They made it work in the remake in 2003. Okay, that's all I know. Because so that's what I've seen movies do this better, and I've seen this particular franchise be better. You know, and you're
calm down, snob.
It's a schlocky horror movie. Yes, I know, but we've seen it that it can be better. You know what I mean? It can be something more.
It can be. Yes, it definitely could have been better. But we'll get to that.
And Fede Alvarez specifically has proven himself to do much more with generic concepts. You know what I mean?
Yes. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. All right, let's get to when Sally finally comes in and they escape the bus. So they get in Sally's car and she's just like, I have to kill him. You have to stay here. He wants you dead. Like, the fuck? Well, you're going to lock them in your car and you're going to go kill them.
Sally's a dumbass in this movie. I'll fucking tell you that.
Dumbass.
Before that scene you're talking about, she goes to Leatherface and he's sitting on the bed or something. He's like, I'm done killing. Yeah. And then she's like holding a shotgun to him. He's like, and she said something like Lindsay, Franklin.
No, that was after. That was after it.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, either way, she's looking him dead in the face and she's like holding a shotgun to him and she knows how to use it. And she just, I'll give a little bit of praise here. It's a nice inclusion where he doesn't recognize her.
Yeah,
I thought that was nice.
Yeah,
because like her life was completely ruined, and he doesn't give it a second thought. Yeah. But but she just lets him go. He just fucking leaves.
She hears Lila and Mel screaming in the background, and that kind of distracts her for a second. And he's just like, whatever.
Very contrived, in my opinion.
Very contrived. And so then there's, oh God. So they end up attacking. She ends up getting attacked and all that stuff. And she has him dead to rights when Leatherface is trying to take Lila out of the car. She shoots him and he's like, what the fuck? And then she has it aimed at his face, and then he walks away. And she doesn't shoot him.
And he's just like, I'm going to go around this corner.
What are you doing? Shoot him. Holy fuck.
You waited 50 years to do this, bitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so stupid there.
Just imagine if they did that to Laurie Strode. Imagine if they just
ruin her character.
Just ruin her character. Yeah. Just kill, because how little character she has in this movie and has had over the franchise. Like, we understand that she's the final girl. She's the one that got away. She has a vendetta. So she should be the one to at least land a killing blow or like a very brutal blow. And she doesn't. She just doesn't. And it's like, yeah. Well, I felt very robbed of it, you know?
Well, unlike Laurie Strode, Sally gets fucking disemboweled on a chainsaw. Yeah. So...
And I guess that was I think that was the filmmaker saying this isn't that type of movie, this isn't that type of franchise.
And she got fucked. She got her shit rocked.
Yeah, she got fucked up. She got like you said, disemboweled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they had to fucking ruin that moment by somehow she's alive.
Yeah.
And shoots Leatherface when she's about to kill Lila or Mel. I don't remember who it was. But Leatherface is about to get one of them, and she shoots him and distracts him.
There's a lot of Deus Ex Machinas.
Oh my God!
There's someone's coming in that hasn't been in the fray for a little bit, comes and saves them, or distracts Leatherface for a little bit.
That moment right there is what ruined this movie for me.
Yeah,
that moment especially. The Dante one was bad. This one was so much worse, and that is what totally turned me off for the rest of this movie. It's like, nope, nothing that happens. The rest of this movie is good.
Yeah. But then we have the generic. Also, I feel like these characters have so much plot armor. Just think about the bus scene. Lila was right up ahead, right in front. She should have been dead right in that moment. I'll give him one pass for her to like, oh, she fell on the ground, missing and the Leatherface missed her, whatever. She got into the bathroom, right? Then she got out of the bus, whatever. Then she has a 1-on-1 or 2 1-on-1 fights with him, and it's just like, this is what I hate about like horror movies. Like they always drag out the last 20 minutes when there's like two pages of story that they're telling. You know, like,
it's all slow motion. It's all like, very contrived.
You know, like he's throwing like, and this happens a lot in like a lot of movies, like where like the villain has the hero dead to rights, can just snap their neck or kill them or whatever, but they throw them around instead. Yeah. Instead of killing them, they throw them across the room so that we extend the action scene. That's what happens in this movie too many times.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the end here. So, what's his face gets Leatherface gets uppercutted with a chainsaw.
That's the main point.
Nice.
He loses. He gets stabbed or he gets uppercutted with the chainsaw and falls backwards into the water.
Which I don't mean,
where Lila should have drowned 10 times ago.
Oh my god. So then everything's good. They're about to drive away in the Tesla. They set the destination. It starts driving itself. And out of nowhere, fucking Leatherface smashes the window, takes Mel out the window, and cuts her fucking head off.
Because of course Leatherfuck isn't dead. By the way, I meant to say that. He that's one of my notes where she calls him Leatherfuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was really nice.
Oh, God, it was.
But yeah, of course he's not dead. And I
should have expected it. I really should have expected it. It's like, fuck.
That felt like a Halloween Kills moment, you know? Right at the end.
Yeah, as soon as Lila put on Sally's hat, I'm just like, he's not dead. She's going to become the final girl again.
Yeah.
And then somehow...
Yeah.
See, it was in the back of my head, but not like, it's not going to happen. But it fucking happened. I knew it.
They have to pay homage to the original. There's always got to be that, you know. But, I mean, one thing I did want to mention...
Yeah.
We've been kind of shitting on this, but we've been praising it here and there.
Yeah.
But... It doesn't use any of the lore that, despite how little there was in the first place. That's what I think the heart of this movie it's hollow. I think the main criticism is this movie's hollow.
It's not Halloween, it's hollow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But there's just not much there. And if they want to build more on this franchise, I don't think it's going to work. It didn't work in here. And they have to, I feel bad for David Blue Garcia. That's the director of the movie. I think he still has a lot to learn because the way he directs this movie. I think Fede Alvarez behind this director's seat would have done a lot better because there's a lot of bursts of action and then slow suspenseful sequences. You know, where they come back. You know, where like Leatherface is like right behind him. You know, specifically I noticed this when Mel is under the floorboards.
Yeah.
He chases her with a chainsaw, and then she kind of crawls out and like kind of hides for a second. And then we wait like 2 minutes or whatever, and then she kind of slowly starts to, you know, walk or crawl her way to the grate, right? Yeah. And then the chainsaw comes out, starts chasing her down. So we have another action scene, and then we take and then the chainsaw cuts the pipe real quick. Then we have kind of like a slowed down scene. Or a quick beat of the shit coming all over her. Yeah. And then they get the grate off, and then she crawls out. So there's basically just these short bursts of action that's just not enough to, like, keep me interested.
Yeah, no, and I get that. So it is hollow. The direction is definitely hollow. Again, he hasn't done much as a director, though, so we can't really fault him too much. I don't know.
And maybe this might be the perfect kind of franchise because Texas Chainsaw hasn't been great in a while.
For sure.
I don't think it's ever been... I think the first movie was truly inventive. Like, it was inventive, like, directing-wise, horror-wise, and then they added, like, a little bit of story, like, to make the lore a little better in the 2003 remake. Those are the only two, like, good movies in this franchise. The rest of them are just butthole. So this might be the perfect franchise because the franchise is kind of dead.
Again, that's most slash movies, though. Most of them are butthole, like most of the movies. Like, so for... Friday the 13th. Let's start with... Oh, no, let's not start there. Most of them are butthole. Let's start with Halloween. So, like, the first 3 are kind of good.
Oh, by 3, what do you mean? Do you mean...
1, 2,
and
1 and 2, and maybe 3. I don't remember 3 that much.
Well,
so.
3.
3 is the witch one, right?
3 is the witch, not really.
So 1 and 2.
Okay, 1 and
H2O is okay.
1 classic. 2 slightly, or it's good, slightly less better than, or not as good as the first one. Then 4 has its fans, but it's not beloved.
Exactly. So most of them are kind of like Butthole.
They slowly get like it's not as steep as a decline as the Texas Chainsaw ones, but it's slow decline.
It goes in waves.
Yeah,
it goes in waves. And
H2O revived it, and then Resurrections killed it. Ironically, because
and then Rob Zombie killed it again.
Yeah, Rob Zombie has his fans. Like, so me and Kylie both enjoyed the first Halloween remake. Then we can both agree, I think everyone can agree, H2 is it's a shit show. I fucking hate that movie. Then Halloween 2018's good again. Halloween Kills, a little worse, not as good.
Hopefully, we'll get into that another time because we're going to be seeing Halloween Ends at some point.
Yeah, and I want to go on record. I've said this a couple times before, but I've definitely Phantom Menaced Halloween Kills.
Yes,
so my review of that movie is just incorrect. But if you want to go listen to it, go for it.
Yeah, listen to him gush.
I am a huge Michael Myers fan, and I just fucking love seeing him on screen. That's it. I could recognize that. I'm a fan.
Okay, so overall, Texas Chainsaw 2022, not bad. The writing is pretty solid for the most part. It's got good commentary on certain things, both sides of the political spectrum, and like honestly, the acting isn't too bad either. Like the acting is pretty solid for a horror movie.
For a horror movie, yeah,
exactly, for solid. A horror movie, and there's not much else you can really ask for. It's got gore, it's got punchy fucking action. Like, holy shit, when there is action, it's good.
This is definitely like, if this wasn't a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I think I would give it more credit. Yes. But because this is attached to an established franchise that was beloved at one time, it just doesn't live up to it. I think this is a very disposable, very contained movie that could have just been its own thing. Kind of like how Cloverfield Paradox could have been a good sci-fi horror movie if it wasn't attached to Cloverfield.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, honestly, for me, I don't think it's that low. It's definitely not going to be that high on my rating. So, I think I'm going to give it a 71. 71.
I'm going to give it a 65.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Barely passing?
Barely passing. It's just because it's just attached to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is beloved. It has a little bit of lore, and they just didn't do any service to it. They didn't. This is unrecognizable from any Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie,
except for Leatherface. He's pretty recognizable.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't even look. There's not even like he doesn't even look iconic anymore.
What do you mean?
He just doesn't have that look to him. Like
he does. He looks like Leatherface.
I don't know. It's just. All I'm seeing is just an old lady's face, because it's just an old lady's face.
His mama.
Yeah, but the first one, it could he just has that weird. It looks like a mask, and it's a certain look. Then in the remake, they give him like stitches, so it's like multiple faces stitched together. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Like,
but in this one, it's a face.
Yeah, because the
concept is cool, but that's not an original idea.
The faces wear down over time, and I'm sure he hasn't gone on a killing spree in quite a while after this one. True. So, he has to find a new face, and who better than Mama, I guess. So,
Makes sense.
He doesn't have time to stitch them together at that point. Like, it's all one night. You can't really expect too much from him at that point. So, yeah.
But, yeah, like you said, it's serviceable. It's a horror movie of 2022. I'm not going to remember it tomorrow, but I'll
remember that bus scene. That bus scene.
Was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember it, and I thought it was fine for what it was. I enjoyed watching it this time.
I'm gonna remember that knee scene for Richter. I think I'm gonna remember that. That was pretty good.
I just think there's a lot of missed opportunities. There was poorly written characters.
Not gonna remember the characters.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, it's a forgettable, and all right, but you know what? Let's just leave it at that. It's gonna be
it's forgettable, but it's fine. It's whatever.
But we are Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast. And yeah, I'm Dan. You can find me on Instagram as well with @DanTheDonutMan1. Donut, donut, not the real way you say donut, because let's be real.
Because you're cool.
Because I am cool.
You're cool with a
And I
K.
may have worked at a franchise that also has that in the name, so that's me. Donut Man. Anyway, yeah, what do you got, Danny?
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram
That's just slow.
at Danny_Was. Or my Letterboxd, which I'm posting more. I burped a little bit. At DJ Was, WOS. Or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Recently I said I have been posting on there more, but I haven't had a YouTube idea in a little bit, so I'm scared that I might go into my hibernation mode again soon. But I hope not. Maybe I'll some
Maybe by the
ideas will
time
come
this
in.
airs, you'll have a new one out.
Maybe, who knows?
And actually, while we mention that, next week we will be officially starting our video podcasts and on YouTube. So you'll be soon to be able to check us out on YouTube. I'm sure our name is still the same. Seen it before cast, I assume.
Unless we rebrand again.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're gonna rebrand this quickly here. So we'll find out. But yeah, we will post on our Instagram and our TikTok. Let you guys know about that. Yeah, so stay tuned for videos every week starting on next Sunday. Yeah, with our movie, which we will announce on social media as well. So
Yep, on Fridays, right?
make sure, on Fridays are our teases. Sundays the reveal. Sundays also the podcast release. So we got our days. We got stuff coming up, and we appreciate all of you. So thank you for listening to us. If you do listen to us, we really appreciate it. It's been an honor as usual. We'll see you next time.